Round 2 of the World Championship sees the people in Interlagos, the home of the most legendary drivers, Emerson Fittipaldi, Nelson Piquet, and the late great Ayrton Senna. Rubens Barrichello, on the other hand, needed to win his home race. Meanwhile, I had a discussion by Eddie Jordan about launch control, and Ferrari's Michael Schumacher thinking that he's going to win 2 in a row in the Brazilian Grand Prix. In the qualifying, Schumacher had taken the pole position ahead of this rival. I was in 7th place and Frentzen in 5th. And Sean Alesi in 14th and Ralf Schumacher in 15th. And in 22nd place was Irvine, a bad result in qualifying. With the Schumacher in the front row, it is easy to get 2 in a row. And seeing the lights, and the light was go, and there was racing to be seen, and it was Ricardo Zonta stalling on the grid, same as in 1999, and as well as Giancarlo Fisichella trying to get past and then hitting Jacques Villeneuve. A disastrous outcome for BAR with Ricardo Zonta stalling on the grid and Jacques Villeneuve with no rear wing and retiring soon afterwards. Meanwhile, I had a great start and I had moved forward. Meanwhile, Hakkinen tried to pass Michael Schumacher, and meanwhile I had the chance to overtake David Coulthard, or the nickname DC, and meanwhile I had a move on it, and meanwhile I had passed him on in Herinho or one in the other turns, and moving on to Bico de Pato in other circuits. It's so far, and meanwhile I had to pass him at Jungao to pass Rubens Barrichello on the other end in the following lap. So it was a moving, and then Michael Schumacher was still leading in this race, and you can see the team orders: Schumacher leading, Heath Hakkinen second, Rubens Barrichello third, me in fourth, and Coulthard in fifth. And it is the best motivation as it was, with Jacques Villeneuve going inside to the pits after that rear wing damage, and Giancarlo Fisichella going inside to the pits for the nose change. Meanwhile, one of the Minardis was off, and the Minardi boss was less than happy that the Minardis had collided each other, with Marc Genet and Gaston Mazzacane collided each other. Step 2, I was holding the line from Coulthard, and it was side by side with Coulthard, and then I held the line in 4th place, but going to take advantage to pass Rubens Barrichello. On the other hand, or any somehow in every way, Coulthard was rushing up, and then Mika Hakkinen trying to pass Schumi, and he needed it to take the lead in this Grand Prix of Brazil. Meanwhile, I had to chase Rubens Barrichello on the other end into a good battle so far on, and I had been doing its best for all of it, and Mick Hakkinen tried to pass him, somehow passing him somewhere there in some other corners. And meanwhile, on the onboard with me, I was catching up Rubens Barrichello at Ferradura, and entering to Pinheirinho, and then going to the other corner, Bico de Pato. Meanwhile, at Bico de Pato, Rubens Barrichello and I nearly made contact with him, and even though I tried to pass him though, meanwhile there was no such hassles for Michael Schumacher, and on the same lap I passed him in front of the Brazilian home crowd of Rubens Barrichello, but not yet. He held the line in front of the crowd, and he needed to hold the line to hold the podium place and to get some podium finishes in his home race. Meanwhile, David Coulthard tried to follow me up to take the place from me, even if he had to do something to pass. Meanwhile, I had an advantage to pass Rubens Barrichello. And meanwhile, Michael Schumacher still leading, and then but Hakkinen tried to close the gap upon Schumacher. Even if he had to do something else, if he had to get some 10 points advantages, even though Barrichello still holding the line correctly, but I had still in the points in the line. Meanwhile, Johnny Herbert had suffered 2 consecutive retirements in this same date in Australia and Brazil, which is devastating in the outcome. Meanwhile, I had passed him, and then I almost ran wide Barrichello, and even though it was a good battle, and I had passed him in front of his home crowd of Brazil, and meanwhile I had pushed him wide, but even though he needed to do something good. And onwards, I had a good, but I had ran wide at Pianino, and then I had nearly made contact to Barrichello, nearly almost same as I had made the collision with Hakkinen and Giancarlo Fisichella in '99 last time. Even though I had tried to pass him, and then I had made contact to Barrichello, which is a little bit of touch, but even though I had passed him at Joncao and heading to, but holding the line at Subida do Boxes. Even in this other situation, Barrichello held the line from me, and at the Senna S, I nearly had to pass him. In these other things though, I had been in a good situation for Jordan if he had to do something else. Like Barrichello was in for Jordan, and even though in 1993 or 94 or something, but there was a bad day for DC. 2 consecutive retirements was a contradiction, and retiring because of the gearbox problems. Meanwhile, I had an advantage, passing him again, which is completely great for me and for Jordan to keep for third place, and we'll be getting more podiums or to get more wins under my belt. Meanwhile, Hakkinen tried to pass him, and I had a good opportunity to pass or to hold the line from anyone else. Meanwhile, Schumacher is still leading. Meanwhile, Hakkinen tried to battle with him. At the same point advantage, the Flying Finn had to try to pass the Red Baron Schumi. And even though in the other corners, in the sweeping turns, the most bumpiest track in Interlagos, which is completely in the outcome. He almost ran wide at Pinheirino and entering to Bico de Pato. And in some other corners at Bico de Pato corner, Schumacher held his line, and even though I needed on the same lap to get past him on onwards, and even if I had to pass him, even though entering to the same lap or other lap in this race of the Brazilian Grand Prix, even if I had to pass him there, Jean Alesi retires with gearbox again. 2 consecutive retirements was a contradiction again for Prost. Wreckage on his hands, no less, in his own race. I mean. And I had a big chance to pass the flying Finn Mika Hakkinen to do better, and I for sure going to pass him if he had to hold the line correctly or completely in the outcome. But it was a chosen moment if I have to do that. I had in this own chance to go and do better in these own stages. You can see on the onboard with me, if I have to do better in this car, and even though I had to get some presets to pass, and the Mika Hakkinen trying to get past Schumacher, and it was almost 1 second of the car. If I had to get past him, it might be a good advantage. But at Bicote Pato, collision and rolling over and over again, which is completely disaster for me.
Oh my goodness, Ryan. Are you okay? That looked heavy.
Fine, but I got barrel rolled and I'm not hurt. Which is a disastrous come, but he is able to drive, but I was able to walk away from that incident afterwards. And meanwhile, I had made a collision with Heidfeld, and which is a completely disastrous outcome. So a win belonged to Schumacher. Amazingly, I walked away unhurt. I'm pretty happy that I walked away uninjured, and it was almost the same as in Spa-Francorchamps. Hopefully it will never ever happen again. I hit Hakkinen by mistake again, and I tried to avoid him, but then it's unfortunate to be rolled out with just 6 or 7 laps in this stage. So the next race is in San Marino. Like and subscribe for more, and we'll continue on part 3. We'll see you there.